It's been a long, long time. Well, here we are, Reality Check fans, and wow, new era, new dawn. I'm back on camera again with my good friend here, Butch Patrick, and we are going to talk about what you're up to these days.
Well, it's not Dracula's castle.
That's right.
Today I'm in Orinda, California with the first ever Krofft Kon. I was on a Krofft show called Lidsville, and ever since I did that show, I always thought, wouldn't it be cool to get all the Krofft people that I know together for a show, and here we are finally doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when it all came together, what were you thinking? Like, what kind of trivia were you going to bring to it? And what kind of presentations were you going to do?
Well, honestly, Derek, who runs the Orinda Theater, he was the key to this whole thing because he ran with it. He put it together, and the theater was perfect host for it. I knew that people would come out. I knew there was a fan base for it, and the combination of that and me contacting a few of the celebs to help him out, we came up with a winning formula, and everybody seems to be really happy.
Cool. So when the fans are coming up, is it sort of like 50-50 Munsters and Krofft, or what are people mainly asking you about today?
It's about 50-50.
Yeah. Cool.
And that's okay. You know, that literally is. I thought about it. Is it going to be Krofft exclusively? But Johnny had brought some of his stuff from his other shows, and everybody else did too. So it's a Krofft Kon with all the characters. But because you're on a Krofft show, that doesn't eliminate you from having other interesting things in your career.
Exactly.
So it worked out well.
So speaking of interesting things in your career, a former star of Reality Check TV, when we went to the famous Dracula tour in Transylvania.
That was one of my sister, who's a big fan of what I do, she said that is the only thing that she's jealous of, that we went to Dracula's castle. She wants to go to Dracula's castle, and what a trip it was.
Indeed. We had some misadventures and adventures during that trip, that's for sure. Going to the castle itself and going to that bingo parlor.
Oh, God. We went out. I remember when we went into the club and the couple shut down the bar and took us for a tour.
Yes,
yeah. That was amazing. It was almost like Young Frankenstein when you hear the music and Frankenstein follows the violin. Well, we heard music in downtown, what the hell, Bucharest. Bucharest, and we followed the music, and here we're in an underground nightclub with nobody in it except us and the two people that ran it, and they shut it down and took us for a tour.
Right. And it was my birthday, I remember that.
Your birthday.
Yeah, so we ended up at like another bar, and we kept going to different bars in Budapest for quite the underground tour.
Oh, yeah. Then we went to a bar, they brought us a bunch of booze we didn't want, then we saw two big bouncers at the door saying, "You ain't leaving until you buy that booze." Well, I guess we've been had.
Yes, we were. Definitely.
Perfect tourists.
So what have you been up to lately, besides being at the fabulous Krofft Kon?
Well, I travel around the country with my Munster coach and my Dracula, my gearhead. I'm a member of a car club, and I enjoy going out and meeting people, and it works out really, really well with having the Munster coach. And there's a new Rob Zombie Munsters movie in production, and that's adding a whole new generation of people and new fan base. We've already had a big fan base, but Rob's participation has really helped too.
So Rob's doing like a sort of a takeoff on Munsters, or it's going to be like a Munsters tribute?
No, it's a feature film about the Munsters, and he's a huge fan and always has been, and a collector, and he's a great filmmaker. But he's made a PG Munsters version of the. It's not a remake of the Munster show, because that's not really ever going to happen. But his version of it and his people in it, and it's great. I've seen little tidbits of it, and I'm really happy with it.
Cool. And I was seeing on YouTube about the cars that you've got and the Munster mobiles. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm very blessed to be able to find a niche and go out and do car shows and do this and do that and go to racetracks and meet the people and living the dream. Living the dream.
And tell the kids out there with the cars, are those some of the original ones, or are these reproductions?
No, they're reproductions. The original is in a museum in Orlando. Doesn't run, and the original Dracula is in my car club, so I do have access to that one.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that is. It's very cool. So we're in good shape with the cars.
All right, that sounds cool. And for your own productions that you're doing, besides working up with Rob Zombie, anything else that you can tell the kids about that they can look up and find you doing cool stuff?
Well, it's really easy. Just most of the stuff that I do is listed on Munsters.com, and that's whether it's a movie or this or that or my travels. And it leads to all my YouTube channels and Facebook and Instagram and all that Twitter stuff.
Okay, right on.
You must have.
That's right. You must have that. All right, cool. Well, hey, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you, man. Let's do it again. Let's not wait 15 years.
No. We're off to Transylvania, so we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.